Eli Carter's hands trembled slightly as he adjusted the camera lens. The soft hum of his computer filled the quiet room, the screen glowing with anticipation. Thousands of viewers were waiting, their messages flooding in real time, urging him on. This was it, the big move, the new chapter. Behind him, the sprawling Victorian mansion stood cloaked in twilight shadows. Its weathered wood and cracked windows gave it an eerie silhouette against the fading sky. Ivy crawled up the walls like skeletal fingers, and the front steps sagged under the weight of years. To any normal person, this place might look abandoned, or cursed. To Eli, it was an opportunity. "All right, fam, welcome to the new lair," he said, voice bright despite the knot tightening in his stomach. "This place has seen better days, but it's got character. And you know me, I'm here to bring you the realest, rawest IRL content. No scripts, no filters. Just me and this haunted mansion." He swept the camera slowly through the foyer, peeling wallpaper, shattered chandeliers hanging askew, dust motes drifting in the stale air. The house smelled of mold and forgotten memories. Setting up his equipment was a workout. Cables tangled around his feet, lights flickered uncertainly, and the ancient floorboards creaked ominously with every step. But the chat kept buzzing, hooked by every shadow and sound. As Eli unpacked, a sudden chill slid down his spine. The front door creaked open by itself, slamming shut in a gust of wind. He spun the camera toward the noise. Empty doorway. Old house noises, right? He laughed nervously, but the laughter felt hollow. Later, after his first official stream ended, Eli sat in the darkened living room. The silence pressed in, broken only by a faint scratching at the far end of the hallway. A shadow flickered past the cracked mirror. The next morning, Eli woke to hundreds of messages about the shadow. Clips flooded social media. A dark shape slipping past a hallway mirror, vanishing before the eye could focus. "Guys, you're seeing things," he told himself, but the nagging doubt crept in. As he reviewed the footage, the shape was undeniable, a dark, human-like silhouette moving just beyond the edge of the frame. "Okay," he admitted during a midday stream, rubbing the back of his neck. "Maybe this place has stories to tell after all." The chat erupted with theories and dares. They wanted more shadows, more scares, more proof. Eli began setting up cameras throughout the mansion, in the attic, basement, hallways, even the creepy old nursery with peeling wallpaper and broken toys. He rigged multiple angles to catch every inch. That night, the streams went live. Thousands tuned in as Eli wandered the dim halls with a flashlight, narrating every creak and murmur. Then it happened. Behind him, a door slowly creaked open on camera. Eli spun around, heart hammering, nothing but empty air. "Probably the wind," he said, voice tight. But the chat exploded with fear and excitement. Then the whispers started. Barely audible at first, faint syllables, ghostly breaths carried through the static. "Eli, come." The voice grew clearer. "Eli, come back." Eli's breath caught in his throat. He forced a shaky smile for the camera, but his hands trembled as he gripped the flashlight. He wasn't alone in the house. It was late afternoon when Eli decided to explore the attic. He'd been avoiding it for days, but curiosity, and the promise of content, won out. The narrow staircase creaked under his weight as he climbed, the air growing colder with every step. The attic was a cavern of shadows. Dust hung thick, disturbed only by the beam of Eli's flashlight cutting through the gloom. Old furniture lay draped in stained sheets, cobwebs adorned every corner like ghostly lace. Then Eli spotted it, a battered cardboard box tucked beneath a rotting trunk. Scrawled on its side in faded ink was a name, Marianne Ellis. He knelt, brushing away decades of dust. Inside, wrapped in brittle paper, lay a collection of VHS tapes and a leather-bound diary. Eli's fingers trembled as he flipped open the diary. The brittle pages were filled with tight, frantic handwriting describing strange noises in the walls, footsteps echoing in empty rooms, and an overwhelming sense of being watched. Marianne was the previous tenant, Eli told his chat, voice low. She disappeared years ago, no one knows what happened. The most chilling find was a tape labeled, Final Broadcast. He hooked up an old VCR he found in the basement and inserted the tape. Static hissed before the grainy image flickered to life. A young woman's pale face filled the screen, eyes wide with terror. "If you're watching this," she whispered, voice trembling, "please don't come here. The shadows won't let me leave. They move when I'm not looking, they whisper my name. They're coming." The screen cut abruptly to black. Eli's heart hammered in his chest. The house's story wasn't just folklore. It was a nightmare etched in reality. After airing the tape on stream, Eli's viewership soared. The chat buzzed with theories, viewers obsessing over every flicker and shadow. But the streams themselves began to glitch in unsettling ways. Video froze, audio warped, sometimes reversing into eerie loops. Most disturbing of all were the whispers, faint, barely audible, yet unmistakably there. "Eli, can you hear us?" a voice breathed through the static one night. Viewers reported hearing their own names whispered, an unsettling personalization that chilled Eli to the bone. One evening, during a live stream, Eli paused mid-sentence as the camera feed glitching caught his attention. The shadow he'd come to fear twisted unnaturally, stretching and bending like smoke before recoiling. The whisper came again, clearer and more insistent, "Leave, now." His fingers clenched the camera tightly, knuckles white. The chat erupted in panic, urging him to get out, but Eli's pride and curiosity held him in place. "I swear, this is just a bug," he said, voice tight but cracking. That night, sleep eluded him. Every creak and murmur became a threat, every shadow a stalking predator. Eli began waking in strange places, the basement, the garden, hallways he didn't remember walking down, with no memory of how he got there. Was the house tormenting him? Or was something more sinister at work? After airing the tape on stream, Eli's viewership soared. The chat buzzed with theories, viewers obsessing over every flicker and shadow. But the streams themselves began to glitch in unsettling ways. Video froze, audio warped, sometimes reversing into eerie loops. Most disturbing of all were the whispers, faint, barely audible, yet unmistakably there. "Eli, can you hear us?" a voice breathed through the static one night. Viewers reported hearing their own names whispered, an unsettling personalization that chilled Eli to the bone. One evening, during a live stream, Eli paused mid-sentence as the camera feed glitching caught his attention. The shadow he'd come to fear twisted unnaturally, stretching and bending like smoke before recoiling. The whisper came again, clearer and more insistent, "Leave, now." His fingers clenched the camera tightly, knuckles white. The chat erupted in panic, urging him to get out, but Eli's pride and curiosity held him in place. "I swear, this is just a bug," he said, voice tight but cracking. That night, sleep eluded him. Every creak and murmur became a threat, every shadow a stalking predator. Eli began waking in strange places, the basement, the garden, hallways he didn't remember walking down, with no memory of how he got there. Was the house tormenting him? Or was something more sinister at work? The shadow figure had a name now, the Watcher. Viewers claimed it moved with purpose, appearing just long enough to unsettle but never fully reveal itself. During one tense stream, Eli caught the figure moving closer, closer than ever before. His viewers screamed in the chat, begging him to stop, but Eli was transfixed. Suddenly, the lights flickered and died. His flashlight barely pierced the thick darkness. Then a voice, low, guttural, not quite human, whispered through the static, "You're mine now." Eli's heart slammed against his ribs. The camera captured his wide eyes, the terror that froze him in place. For the first time, the Watcher reached out, a shadowy hand stretching from the darkness toward the camera. The feed cut to black. When the stream returned, Eli was gone. His followers watched in stunned silence as the screen showed only static, then a single chilling message scrawled across the screen. "Don't look away." Eli's chest tightened with every step as the house closed in around him. What had started as a curious old mansion had become a living nightmare, its walls no longer fixed and familiar, but shifting and breathing, warping the very space he thought he knew. He tried to find the front door, but the hallway stretched endlessly before him, lengthening and twisting like a grotesque maze. The ceiling drooped lower with every breath he took, pressing down like a suffocating weight. The flickering of the weak flashlight revealed peeling wallpaper that writhed subtly, patterns twisting like dark veins beneath the surface. A door he had passed only moments ago now appeared across the hall, impossibly new and polished, its brass handle gleaming with sinister intent. Desperation made him reach for it. The moment his fingers brushed the cold metal, the door slammed shut on its own, sending a hollow echo that bounced through the warped halls. His phone buzzed violently in his pocket, notifications flooding in from viewers. "I'm feeling dizzy. My head hurts. What's that shadow in my room? I think something's in my house." Panic seeped through the messages. One follower's camera feed abruptly cut to static, and then their account vanished entirely. The stream had become a curse beyond Eli's control, leaking like a poison into the real world. His breaths grew ragged as shadows gathered, pooling thick at his feet, clawing upward like living smoke. He turned, heart hammering, to see dark forms slithering along the walls, faceless watchers with limbs made of swirling darkness and endless eyes blinking in and out of existence. "Leave, leave, leave," the whispers surged in a wave, drowning out his frantic thoughts. The voice was not one but many, fragmented, echoing, each syllable scraping against his sanity. Eli ran. The floor beneath him rippled like water, tilting and collapsing beneath every step, forcing him to stumble and claw at the warped floorboards. The house was no longer obeying the laws of physics. It was a trap designed to imprison him. He stumbled into a room he had never seen before. The walls were lined with thousands of glowing screens, each flickering with a live feed. Faces, his viewers, his friends, strangers, were trapped behind the glass, their eyes wide with terror as they screamed silently into the void. A voice crackled through the speakers, cold and mechanical, "Welcome, Eli. You belong to the stream now." He tried to scream but found his voice swallowed by the oppressive silence. His reflection flickered in the dark screens, only it was wrong, twisted, with hollow eyes that bled black. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind him. The temperature plummeted. Cold fingers of ice spread across his skin, freezing his blood. He was no longer just a streamer. He was content, trapped in a digital hell, watched by millions, unable to escape. The house had claimed him. And the stream never ended.